Okay, we're recording. All right, hi everybody. So this is our first installment of a series that has not yet been named, but it's we're trying to come up with a fun name. But
not be named.
Feel free to put a name in the comments.
Yeah,
we'll come up with something.
Yeah, but we knew that we wanted to start with this couple, Ron and Dawn Steuckle in San Francisco, California. They're dear friends of ours from long ago. We just realized we've been in Oregon for 14 years, so we've known them for
longer than that.
A long time.
Yes,
longer
more than 14
than that.
years, yes.
Before you were married.
But they have always been an inspiration to us, and so we wanted to share them with you, and they're super awesome people. So yeah.
So thank you very much for joining us. Would love to know a little bit about you. So introduce yourselves real quick, who you are, how long you've been married, do you have any kids, kind of stuff like that.
Introduce yourself. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
I'm Ron. Now you.
I'm Dawn. And
Steuckle.
we have the same last name, Steuckle. And
That's not a given.
that's
so we had to
another
say it.
show. Like, why do women have to?
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't make her.
So we have one child of our very own, our biological flesh and blood, Jake Steuckle, who is 24 years old. And he's engaged to get married on Halloween. Hopefully the virus will allow a wedding to happen. So we have a daughter now, Liz, and lots of kids in San Francisco who consider us their parents that are not our biological flesh and blood.
Yes. And why is that?
Well,
We just give out a lot of candy.
we run a nonprofit that we started 29 years ago, something like that, called Sunset Youth Services. And we work primarily with 14 to 24-year-olds that are systems involved and under-resourced and vulnerable. And most of them have endured a lot of trauma. And so we definitely have a surrogate family. And some of them are now staff. And so many of them call us mom and dad, and actually several of them now through the years have become parents, and their kids call us grandma and grandpa, which was a weirder adjustment.
Yeah, it took some people.
But yeah, so.
But they're awesome.
And you guys do a lot with music too through Sunset Youth Services. You want to tell us a little bit about that for a second?
Go ahead.
So one of the things that we do is around digital arts and technology skill building. So we teach marketable skills that will hopefully help our young people stay a little more competitive in the marketplace with their peers by using skills, using things that they're excited and interested in. So we have several music studios in our building, and then we have some mobile studios that we take out, and we actually are just building out our mobile studio that's in a Sprinter van. So we'll be able to drive the studio wherever we want it to go. And we have a studio in Juvenile Hall.
Which we're currently trying to get shut down, so.
You're trying
we'll drive the van.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah, we do engineering, beat making, songwriting. Our kids perform all over the city. We have a youth run record label called Upstart Records. Lots of really talented, resilient overcomers that are young artists as well. And then they also do video production and photography and some graphic design and live light and sounds. So
the TV channel. Go check out whatever venue you're used to. Go check out Upstart Records if you want to see some of our kids' music, things they're doing.
Awesome.
Instagram, follow the Upstart Records Challenge. Just if you want.
Upstar or Upstart?
Upstar, no T.
Upstart. Okay, just want to clarify.
You can find it all on our website, sunsetyouthservices.org.
Yeah.
Good plug.
Yeah.
Good plug.
Awesome.
I like that.
Well, one
Right
of the
there.
reasons we wanted, right. One of the main reasons we wanted to have one of our chats with you is because you spend so much time together, like outside of Corona, right? Like
That's
you
true.
already do all of life together, and you still really like each other. And so, so this just adds a new layer to it, but you were already really good at spending time together and still keeping things alive. But we have one more quick question for you before we're going to get to the juicy tips.
Yeah, and that was basically, so you've been working together for 29 years. How did you meet? I always love to hear how the two of you found one another.
Uh-oh, I see it.
Yes.
Oh, no, it's just when we're asked this question, hers and my stories, they're the same story, but mine takes about 4 seconds and hers is much more interesting. So
in the interest of time, it should be Ron's story.
let's
Yes,
have Ron
Ron, go
answer
ahead.
this one.
never as interesting because I just say, well, we met and then we started going out.
We met through a mutual friend.
We did.
There we go.
How's
I
that?
only got to 3 seconds on that.
Okay, I was touring with the band and was out, and I knew, and I had met this person who Dawn also knew from her growing up years, and then she was touring with a dance company. And so at one point we were in the same area, and our friend brought her to one of our concerts and introduced us that way.
But leading up to that,
This is what I mean.
I was in Hawaii, and my friend kept saying, man, you got to meet this band. You would really like these guys. I was kind of like bitter about men at that point in time. Nobody understands how that works. I'd had my heart broken and just was like, so she would always say, man, you got to meet these guys. They're really awesome. You would really like them. They're super fun. And you'd really like their bass player. You guys would get along so well. And she would always say to Ron, you need to meet my friend Dawn. Like, you guys would really like each other. We went to cosmetology school together. So she would always say, tell him that we needed to meet. So we actually met over the phone the first time. He called me out of the blue.
I called her, okay, I'm going to admit this publicly. I called her also because our friend showed me her portfolio, and I just thought she was really good looking, so I called her on the phone.
Wow.
Excellent. Great.
I'm just that shallow.
Nice.
He also told me that he married me because my car had a sunroof in it. So
It was a nice car.
he's a shallow guy.
Nice car.
Great.
Well, I
We're
know
happy
there's
with both.
more depth now after.
But she still has that car, right?
No.
We had to sell it to get our
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
All right. And one other kind of fun thing about this is, if you wouldn't mind, share one kind of funny or quirky thing about the other person.
You want to go first?
Dawn's going through her list.
Yeah,
She's
exactly.
just
She's
I'm trying to think of something funny or quirky.
I'll tell you.
okay.
So
Is this about you or me?
you.
Okay.
Aren't I supposed to say about him? Why would I give up my own?
I was going to
No, Danny answers for me all the
Okay,
time.
go
I'll
ahead.
tell you.
You
actually
help me.
quickly about
Okay. One of the quirky things about Ron is that he oftentimes doesn't close cupboards after he gets something out. So when early on, like we were newlyweds, my mom came to stay with us because I was having surgery, and we were in the hospital room, and Ron left, and my mom said, isn't it so weird that Ron never closes a cupboard? And it just made me laugh because she said, every time I go in the kitchen, the cupboard doors are open and I close them all. And then I leave and I come back and they're all open again.
Not all of them.
And I was like,
got to get stuff out of them.
Dawn,
Bob, you do that
It
too?
saves time.
the other day I saw
Yes.
the other day I saw a TikTok about the same thing.
So it's a guy thing, maybe.
But the guy was, and he was totally like middle-aged, dad bod guy who was in the kitchen and closed all the cabinets to the dun 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 dun
Oh,
dun
yeah.
dun, like
The
did
Phil
all
Collins
them.
jam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, okay, Ron, what you got?
Found sound. Well, you know, on that question, oh, you're trying to hurry on this, so never mind. I won't say
Don't
anything.
worry.
I was going to say, ask her what our kitchen's like right now. But,
We took all the cupboards off.
there we have it.
Yes.
That's called
That's why we went to you first
There we
for
go.
brilliance like this.
problem solved.
We're not even going to have time to get to the questions you really want to ask, are we? Okay, a quirky thing about Dawn. Okay, I'll say one thing that I sort of realized not that long ago. Whenever we're cooking, or I never can quite figure out which foods she wants underdone and which foods she wants overdone.
Oh,
Some foods
interesting.
she likes burned,
Oh,
you know, like bacon.
uh-huh.
And some foods she likes raw, like pancakes.
Raw might be.
A little exaggerated.
See, I thought you'd go for my closet.
Oh yeah.
That's all right.
Okay,
We have time
here's a
for one
quirky
more.
thing. This is a better one. I forgot about that. That's awesome. She all of her clothes have personalities of their own, and she doesn't hang some of them next to other ones because she's afraid they won't get along with each other.
No, I know they don't get along.
Apparently she's seen them fight. I don't know.
And some of them are jealous of the other ones because they get worn more often.
Oh,
sure.
yes.
The whole closet situation.
That is
That's a better one. That is quirkier.
Awesome.
Is
That's really
excellent.
quirky. I would definitely go with quirky on that one.
I
Oh
love
my
it.
gosh. Okay,
And if she ever has a headache, she won't let me talk about it once it goes away because she's afraid it will hear me talking and come back.
Oh,
sure.
there it is.
Okay, now I'm on a roll. Here we go.
Oh, we
was
gotta
free.
move on. We have to move on.
All right.
Okay.
So share with us. Okay, how long have you been married?
29 years. It'll be 30 years in July.
Okay, wow. So share with us some tips on how you keep your marriage fun and lively and passionate and all the things, all the good things that you two are.
Those are all different phrases. Fun, lively, passionate. They all are important.
Pick any of it, whatever stands out to you.
Well, let's see. I'll say this much. Passionate, because I still think she's the best looking woman I've ever seen in my life.
Awesome.
I still am that level, but man, okay. There's so much. She's the person that I would rather just spend time with when I have nothing to do. Like you have just your best friend and someone who you just feel comfortable to say, you know what? Let's just go hang out. I just like hanging out with her.
And do you think, that's awesome. Do you think, is there something that's cultivated that? Like, what do you think has allowed that to develop over the years? Or do you think it just was naturally that?
This is why I was trying to figure if we were going to have a hard time with this, because I'm not always sure what it is.
Yeah.
It didn't take a serious decision for me to just be in love with my wife. It's easy to do. She's amazing.
Ron said serious, and now Siri's
Yeah, I gotta get
writing
that off
everything
of there.
that he said.
I don't know who's going to send
Siri
it
just
to.
popped up.
You keep bringing it up. You keep bringing it up. Stop saying it.
One thing I'll say is we were good friends for a few years before we kind of like had a long distance situation because we were both traveling, and then we broke up because we never got to see each other and it was just silly. And at the time, Ron said, I'll never forget, because we were on the phone and I was telling him I was basically breaking up. And he was like, I would rather break up now with the possibility of getting back together in the future than to stay together now and ruin all hope. And at the time I was kind of like, yeah, if that helps you, buddy. But like for real, I think we stayed friends, and we actually there was always that sort of unfinished business, but also we got to know each other long distance. And so there was none of that complicated like physical stuff because we couldn't be together.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, that was good.
And then
So maybe this coronavirus thing will really help some dating people right now, right?
exactly, get to know each other by phone.
Find out online. Okay, I just now thought of another thing that I think is very, very real and potentially problematic, but I would like to say to any men who are watching this, please don't be afraid to embrace a strong woman. And what I mean by that is, okay, we started Sunset Youth Services together, but Dawn is the executive director. She kind of feels like we made her be that way, but she is the executive director, so that means she's my boss at work too.
Yes.
My boss
You got
at work
that.
also.
Got that one, right.
My boss at work also. But
That's why our marriage works.
one of my jobs there with the young men is to show them that I can respect her authority as the executive director of the agency that I work for. I can respect her strength, and it's not emasculating. I can still cherish her as sacred and as holy and as something I want to protect and take care of, while still respect her strength and fortitude. And I think as a guy, that both of those matter a lot. Too many men are threatened by strong women. And it's not emasculating to be with a strong woman.
That's a good word. I've heard that I have friends who are like very accomplished, and they've had a hard time over the years dating, that, you know, men have been intimidated by them. Yeah, it's good.
I think Ron has always made me feel cherished and safe, and honestly has always made me feel like I am the most beautiful woman.
Yeah.
So I think that's also something that has been, I think, really foundational, is the feeling we both feel like we scored when we got each other. And I think, like, early in our marriage, we'd always be like, why me? And we still can sometimes do that. Like, it's more like, thanks for picking me. But I still feel that way. Like, I feel like I totally scored, and I feel bad because other people don't get what I got. But
can't say what I got during time of a virus.
But I think so when laughter has also always played a huge role in our relationship, and I think really huge based on what we do for a living, which is pretty intense, and you know, lots of loss, lots of emotion, lots of hardship, lots of heartbreak, but laughter has always been really key to us. And even in raising Jake, it just was always a really big part of our family culture. And
it's not laughter is not disrespect. Laughter is not denial. Humor is never a problem or a put down. I guess that's a different type of humor, but genuine humor is not disrespectful, nor is it denial of the hard truths that are out there.
You can have both.
Yes.
Like, you can be in a really hard time and laugh and
yes,
love and all that. That's a core value for us too, for sure.
And I would say, honestly, laughter and tears of emotion kind of come from the same area.
Yeah.
So we'll find times where we should be bawling and we're laughing. Because that's just how our body is.
Isn't the opposite.
And it could be the opposite too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, great.
Any other closing thoughts as we finish up here? You've got some great nuggets for us.
May I ask you
yeah.
one question?
Yeah.
Because, and this is a little bit off of this, but we love how you guys are working, and you know, for those, we've been best friends and we get along and all of this. I assume you have conflict every now and then. How do you two work through that conflict?
So, do you want to take this one?
Well, no, go ahead.
So, honestly, we don't have much conflict.
It's not common.
And so I always feel a little bit weird saying that to people because it sounds like either we're covering up for something or, but like we genuinely have never had much. But I think when we do, it's more the like sigh and eye roll level of conflict that's like, so, and that's me, right? Like the sigh and eye roll girl. Problematic. My dad tried to beat it out of me as a child and it just didn't work.
He didn't really.
Okay, beat might be the wrong word. Sorry, you can edit that out later. But I think we are trying to get even better, I would say, after almost 30 years of marriage, at like naming our feelings in the moment. And then just being able to be, so Ron and I both tend to be very people pleasing and very non-confrontational. So I think in a lot of ways that's served us well in our marriage, but I think we're also trying to get better at naming our emotions and just being okay without having to say like, I'm sorry, I'm feeling this way. I'm sorry that I'm feeling frustrated right now, right? Like, but just be like, this is where I'm at, and just, it's okay. And it doesn't have to be, it's not like a value judgment or any sort of statement on the other person's character or anything more intense than just like, this is how I'm feeling right now. And I think it's something we're both working on getting better at right now. And just not feeling like we don't, like it's okay to say that stuff and you don't have to, I don't know what, try to make it better in the moment, right? Just let it be.
And getting to know yourself. The other day, maybe just yesterday, I don't remember, Dawn said, you know, as I'm learning myself more and more, I'm realizing I need more hugs. And that was amazing to hear. And it's like, okay, you know, tell me that thing. But another element is that we don't think very much in the world needs to be taken very seriously, but the things that do need to be taken very seriously, we tend to agree on.
Interesting. Wow.
That's good.
That was deep.
That was deep. Coming from a bass player, that was deep.
Ron's the deep one.
Right. Right.
They're like,
we love you guys. Thank you so much for being brave and being willing to help us with this. And I know that it will bless people out there. And just thank you. We love you guys.
Thanks, you guys, for
trusting
asking.
us.
We love you.
And one of the things I love, and I probably should have started with this, so maybe I can end with it, is you two are so sweet to one another over social media.
Yeah, they edify.
You edify. That's a great word. You edify each other very well. And I love that. And, you know, usually like your anniversary or birthday comes after ours, and I write something which I think is great. And then I read something that Ron writes, and I'm like, oh. That's what I should have written.
It is encouraging. Yeah. Keep raising the bar.
Yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm just copying and pasting all the old ones, and then
make sure you change the name.
That's right.
Danielle. That would be really problematic, Bob.
Thank you for that tip.
Gotta make a good story, though. Gotta go for the good stories.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
All right, friends. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Love you.
Love you
All
guys.
right.
Guys.
Bye-bye.